with civil societies, observers of an election. The problem lies with the politicians themselves. Any politician that has an advantage over others trying to do one thing or the other to win an election. It is a very clear thing. It's the character of politicians, or in all political parties. And so it is not an issue that can be corrected now. It is a long-time character of political parties and participants in an election. Secondly, INEC has about 7 days before the presentation of certificate of returns. And I know they will also look at the problems that was reported. When that is done, and the certificate of return is now received, the next thing for us to do is governance. The next thing for us to do is to congratulate, painstakingly, congratulate the winner of the election, for us to move forward.
Okay.
Because
I beg your pardon. Can I come back? I'm so sorry, yeah. Alaji. I beg your pardon, Honorable. Yes. Can I quickly go on a break and come back and we'll continue with this? We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
In the month of November, on the 2nd of November is International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. On the 5th of November, it's World Tsunami Awareness Day. And the 7th of November marks 1 month of war between Israel and Palestine after Hamas attack on Israel on the 7th of October. And still on the 7th, the world celebrates Infant Protection Day. 10th November is World Science Day for Peace and Development. The 12th of November is World Pneumonia Day, while 14th of November is World Diabetes Day. The 18th of November is World Day for the Prevention of and Healing from Child Sexual Exploitation, Abuse and Violence. On the 19th, the day is dedicated to remembering road traffic victims. And same day is World Toilet Day and International Men's Day. While on the 25th, it's International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Brace yourself and tune in to TVC News for in-depth reporting and analysis on these days. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Welcome back, and we're having a conversation with Honorable Ibrahim Itodo, former chairman, Interparty Advisory Council, and we're looking at, the Kogi governorship election, a post-mortem. And in between, when we went on break, Waraki has called in from Abuja. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Ilori.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Itodo. I'm calling you from Abuja. About the election of Kogi State, I have 3 tenants in my house. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I have 3 tenants in my house. All happen to be from Kogi State.
Okay.
Two of them are from PDP candidates, and 1 for APC. And they returned, both of them returned yesterday. We have a common chat. I asked them how far about the election. All of them said it was peaceful. I said, is that? So, and I asked the PDP, the 2 men, I said, okay, are you happy with the amount of Ododo? He said, yes. I said, but I had information that there was a manipulation in some of the units in that area. I said, no, it was free and fair election. But for somebody to come on air that there was no election, it baffled me because I have 3 tenants in my house. 2 are PDP. if those two tenants agree with me there was an election, where was that man or the person who now said there was no election in Kogi State? I think it is hard time. We should come together to agree to support who emerged as the governor of that state, to know how to develop that state, not by agreement the other way around. So because Itodo can't be here and tell us lies, he's telling us the truth, confirmed by the two tenants I have at home, who is an opposition party. So, me, election hold according to my own tenant. How they are from Kogi, and even from in Ghana. One of them. Everybody at home now would have even been there to speak with you people. So I don't know how those, because Nigeria, it is hard for Nigeria to accept defeat so that we should move forward. That is my take. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Warake from Abuja there. Honorable Itodo, very well put, I think, because, quite frankly, we know what Nigerians mean when, of course, there was an election in Kogi State, but you know, it's the Nigerian euphemism. It's probably his own way of saying that he's not satisfied at all when he said that every Nigerian can read that. Of course, there was an election, and we've been getting testimonies. We covered it live. Everybody saw it. But probably by that, he meant that there were particulars about it that were unfavorable to him. And that is what, unfortunately, you've analyzed it very well, Honorable Itodo, that we need to get in with the spirit of sportsmanship. Only one person will win in an election like this, and everybody else has to, come around, just like Mr. Warake calling in from Abuja has said. That is the way to go, but unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but as it is, people can have their say. And if they want to, they can take it all the way to the courts, wasteful as that exercise oftentimes turns out to be, although not exclusively, it needs to be said. It's just that you've explained it, that it's so wasteful. And if they could just, I really like your round table idea. If only people were listening and could get together around a round table and let's thrash this thing out and let's all come together and move on and make progress. Mr. George in Ikeja has called in, so let me just get him as well before coming over to you, Alhaji Itodo. Okay, go ahead, Mr. George.
Good morning, and good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Dino Melaye that said elections did not hold. He was a candidate in that election, but he himself did not vote.
He didn't vote. And when he was pressed on it, he said it was an immaterial question, and the answer was immaterial. I didn't quite understand that.
The law says that you must vote and be voted for. So even if the result had showed that PDP had the majority of votes, it wouldn't have been declared because he himself as a candidate did not vote. If you say you are not voting, even before the announcement of results or before voting even commenced, that tells me that you knew beforehand that you are nowhere. How can his party win? Look at the PDP. It's in tatters at both national and state levels. In Kogi there, I was watching his declaration and the launching of his campaign. Only the governor of Osun State showed up in that campaign that he launched. No other PDP governor came there. What does that tell you? That tells me that even the PDP governors and the VIPs in PDP do not reckon with him as a credible candidate. So how is he going to win the elections? What I saw in that Kogi elections, Uncle Yori, is that the candidate of the SDP made a strong showing. And I recall that he was in the APC before. Because of the primaries that did not favor him, he had to move to SDP. And with this kind of showing I saw, is a potential material for governorship of that state someday. If I were him, I will return back to APC and make amends with Ododo, so that perhaps after Ododo's tenure, the governorship may go to his own zone. And if he goes to his own zone, he has every chance to win there, from what I could see in those results. But if he goes the way he's going now, jumping from one party to the other, if the primary doesn't favor him, he's not likely to get there. It's a candid advice. I saw his candor, I saw his style, I saw his performance, even the statement he made that he doesn't want to go to court. That shows me that this person has some inner qualities of leadership. So let him keep it up. He should sleep over my advice and make amends with Ododo. He will get there one day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Even Senator Dino Melaye, who made the assertion, if he's watching now, he's free to call in and, let's talk about it if he wants, so that we could just hear from him. We've heard him speaking on a different station, but throwing the baby out with the bathwater hardly seems to be the way to go. So now, if you'd like to react, Mr. Honorable Itodo, to the comments that were made, both from, I think, Mr. Wareke in Abuja and now Mr. George was calling in.
Yeah, because I've spent about 15 years consistently in the opposition political parties. And I have seen the analysis of participation in an election. For me, what is most important is that when the elections are conducted and lost, you now begin to go back to the drawing board to look at the areas that you've not done well. You look at the areas you have done well. That analysis will give you a way forward into the next 4 years. Second thing is that it is not possible. It is nearly impossible. Let me use the Bible version that says, for a rich man to go to heaven, it's like a rich man to go to heaven is compared to an elephant passing through the needle. That election that was conducted, if you look at the structural base of APC, nobody will tell you that we want to contest an election in another party to come back. It is said that you are in or you are out. The president said that he has allowed a free, fair election because he's a Democrat. But he has a party, he also has a party to protect. Because the APC today is structurally balanced. You can see the president, to governors, to ministers, and down the ladder. These are the structures of the party. And so the next party to it is the PDP. The PDP has some governors. They have senators. They have all that is required down the ladder. Do you think that it is very easy to win an election where you have a sitting governor of an APC or PDP? Look at what happened in Bayelsa. It is not possible because the structures will work for them, whether you like it or not. So are we aligned with what the caller from Lagos also said, that we must go back to the drawing board? I want to give it to Murtala Ajaka for the population, for the capacity he has displayed in that election by having a total of about 8 local governments. Beautiful. It was a contest that he actually proved himself, proved his capacity and prowess in that election. But what will give him back the integrity from the APC is to go back to the APC and begin to build himself again. In another 4 years, when we must have 4 years or 8 years, as the case might be, when this tenure of government is over, you can show your prowess. You can show your capacity and competence again. Because for me, this is a testing ground. I look at it as a testing ground because there is no newcomer in an election that will contest an election and win outrightly the 8 local governments. If you had contested in PDP or contested in APC, it would have been a different ballgame. But the parties that they are flying eventually don't have the structure to be compared to APC or whatever. What has actually happened to the PDP candidate was because of the vindictive nature of the approach into the election. To say the least, he refused to vote. And in an election that you did not participate, I don't know what you are going to prove to the judiciary. So I appeal to all of them. I appeal to all of them to look at the Kogi as a larger forum for governance. And to all of them, they have performed excellently. Very competent people. And I just wish that they will be restrained to unnecessary bickering and grievances. Okay. Because in the first place,
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Another person has come on the line. Ada in Jos. Good morning to you, Ada.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Yori and Honorable Ibrahim. I don't know, calling from Jos, what you say. Yes, Honorable Ibrahim has spoken so well, The idea of the court deciding the winners because of litigation must be discouraged. The ballot should, to some reasonable extent, decide the winners of elections. As I speak to you now, I can count about 3 outstanding judgments now about governors, including my own governor here. I agree that there is no perfect election world over, but there are minimum standards. INEC staff involved in overvoting, bypassing the beavers and the rest of them, and any other electoral violence or any other person, politician involved in electoral violence, let them be brought to justice. That is what is missing in our own. I find it so worrisome when people start referring to USA. After all, Trump, with the hard issues. And the hard issue is Trump not answering for it today. Can that happen in Nigeria? That is what is lacking. You don't punish people. Nobody is held accountable. And then again, this idea of saying that because this is not substantial, so it doesn't matter whether they vote. If we continue like that, it's to a point people will not even want to collect the PVCs again. It's not fair. Allow people to vote. Don't disenfranchise. Let them vote and then count the votes. If their own candidate not win, it's okay. But to beforehand say that it doesn't matter whether they vote or not, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect it. It really sends the wrong signal of the way we are going. And I'm just looking forward to see the politicians that will revive the good Lord Jonathan spirit. I'm yet to see them. That was a year when lawyers were crying. They felt so sad that Jonathan refused to go to court because they went hungry. I want to see people revive that spirit, that Jonathan spirit. But INEC on the fact should also do the much it can to give us credible election. And then again, I don't know whether the honors of proof should not be shifted to INEC because it's coming one too many. It's a lesser job. Okay, now I'm sorry. I wanted to say something about the runners-up. That man, when I watched him over the TV, he said he doesn't want to go to court. But he eventually said that he has no choice, that his people, his supporters, said he should go to court. And he was thinking of the next election, that if he doesn't, that he will have issues. So if they can have room for independent candidates, maybe that will help. That's what he said. So maybe he should go back and meet his people and his supporters and talk with them. If not, I don't know. What he's saying, he has some points there too. And I'm happy the way he has. And for me, in the first instance, it's unfortunate I'm saying this. There was never a time I saw a contest between Dino and any other person. It was that Ajaka and the APC. It's a lesson for Nigeria.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Ada. Honorable Itodo, Ada has had her say. She brought up a number of issues. Those, of course, are for long-term consideration, including independent candidacy if necessary. And she also brought up the Jonathan option. You don't carry everything to court and all of that.
Yes. The Jonathan case is a very serious case for us to analyze continuously in an election. Because what he displayed was integrity. What he displays is the unity of Nigeria first. Because he said that his election, winning his election does not warrant any single soul to die. It does not warrant the soul of anybody. And that was what he took into cognizance. Because before that result was announced, the other party were insinuating that blood will flow on the streets of Abuja and all other states. He said, what? How?
Okay, I think the audio froze. Yes, I think it's a network issue. I wonder if I should take Mr. Adekunle in Abeokuta. Good morning, Mr. Adekunle.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Okay, good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to your deputy studio.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, election in Kogi and all that states that the elections were conducted has come and gone. I think people that are aggrieved about the election should please go to court. And I want to advise Senator Dino in Kogi to please stop eating the politics. Because going around the stations, media stations, social media, and so to condemn the election that INEC conducted is not the best as far as I'm concerned. There is a provision in law that if you are agreed by any election, you know where to go. I think what PDP and Labour did in the last presidential election is what the same line is what Dino is trying to do. After making all the noise on social media, the TV station and other, by the time they now get to court and the court did not favor him, he will now paint it to the public that the court is biased. Let him gather his evidence biased and go to court and let Nigeria have peace. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Adekunle in Abeokuta. Indeed. Well, okay. I've heard. We've all heard your submission, and as I said, Dino Melaye might be watching, or an agent of his might be watching. It would have been good to see what he says to the council of heating up the polity, and as Adekunle suggested from Abeokuta there. It's towing a line that we've passed before in the presidential, in the case of the presidential election, and this is not necessarily going to help anybody at all. Okay, you were speaking when we lost sound, Honorable Itodo. We lost sound very briefly, but we used that time to, not take Adekunle, and he was counseling anybody who is aggrieved, in this case, Senator Dino Melaye, to desist from, going around and not speaking well of the election at all. In fact, apart from not speaking well, actually speaking against the conduct of the election. Now, Wale is in Texas. This Wale that we want to speak to is our own. Good morning, Wale in Texas.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
I just want to make a little contribution.
Sure.
And, this has to go to the media. Because the media are the one orchestrating the most problem Nigerians are facing when it comes to election. Mm-hmm. They kind of have the media. They kind of have a group on that work for the politicians. So when the politicians they cook some videos, they cook some videos, and they shoot it out online, and the media starts spreading it. We all Nigerians know how politicians play the games. Dino Melaye already know it's not in the context of that election. That is why it comes up with the stop of the election sheet in the morning before the election commences. And some gullible Nigerians fall into that. They play into that. You know, and also we need to shift our blame from INEC. INEC as an empire, they did what they have to do. INEC not the one that is hijacking ballot papers. I'm not the one putting all the kind of what everybody blaming INEC for. INEC has done what they have to do. If Nigerians don't have to blame INEC. They have to blame the politicians. Or in every election, all the politicians, when they lose, they want to blame INEC. But when they win, oh, INEC did good. That's my contribution this morning, sir.
Thank you very much, Wale, calling all the way from Texas. We appreciate it. Honorable Ibrahim Itodo, we've run out of time there, but everybody has had, well, when I say everybody, I think we've in between your very balanced and unbiased evaluation of the election, everybody would have had his own content in there, as it has been attested to by other people that called in. But the word seems to be going out to Senator Dina Malaye to take it a bit easy. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and let us proceed as you have advised. Let us proceed for progress. You know, do what we want, what we can. If you want to go to court, go to court. That's what you advise, sir. And if you said, in fact, the one that would be really beautiful is come around the round table. That's where I'm just paraphrasing your words. And I'll give you the last word, sir, as we just have less than a minute to go.
All right. Thank you very much for having me here. The major thing that is at the burning point is the peace that is needed in Kogi State, which I pray and urge the winner of the election to work on, because the unity of these three senatorial districts has been the best thing that has ever happened to us, as exemplified by the present governor, Alhaji Yahya Adoza-Bello. All that is needed is to forget about vindictiveness, revenge, anger, and whatever has happened. It is for us now, at this stage, to downplay every agitation, to downplay every challenges, to downplay every selfish interest, and let us come together, because Kogi is bigger and better than all of us put together.
That's a fine place to leave it, sir. That's a real fine place to leave it. We've completely run out of time. Kogi is indeed bigger than all its citizens. So thank you very much for coming on our program, Honorable Ibrahim Itodo. Join us tomorrow, please, for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.
Is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance in your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam, the robotic 360-degree two-way torque camera with action tracking technology. Sidebulb is the ultimate solution for discreet and powerful surveillance. It's so easy to install, and the app lets you rotate and view the video from your Sidebulb in real time from any smartphone. You can drop in from anywhere and check in with our two-way talk technology. Talk and listen at the same time.
Hello, Mommy.
Hey, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Sidebulb's advanced tracking technology locks onto motion and tracks in real time. Set the siren alarm to go off when motion is detected and keep intruders away. Check in on your home while you're away. Make sure the kids got home safely. Interact with visitors at your doorway or surprise a trespasser.
Surveillance in a light bulb. I was amazed at the 360-degree rotation. It gives me a full view of my house and I can check in on my kids. The footage is clear and the night vision is so impressive. The best part, I can add multiple side bulbs for a complete home surveillance.
I really like my sideboard. It's so easy to use. I just downloaded the app, I put it on my phone, and I add it up and run in about 3 minutes.
Traditional surveillance systems are bulky, expensive, and difficult to install. But with Sidebulb HD Cam's innovative design, installation is as fast as changing a light bulb, and it's made for indoor and outdoor surveillance.
The Sidebulb HD Cam is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 200,000 naira for an indoor and outdoor security system that doesn't fully secure your home. But call the number on your screen now and get the Sidebulb HD Cam for just 45,000 naira and get peace of mind. And that's not all. If you call now, we'll give you an extra Sidebulb at no extra cost. That means you buy one and get one free for 45,000 naira. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sidebulb HD Cam delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Have you been thinking of where to acquire knowledge without stress and inconvenience? Then what are you waiting for? The National Open University of Nigeria is the place to be. For up-to-date information about the National Open University's programs and activities, join me, Lulu Bankong, on NOUN Updates, showing on this station every Friday at 12:30 p.m.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News. These are the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have commenced a nationwide strike with affiliate unions in major sectors joining the industrial action. TVC News cited several circulars by the unions, including the National Union of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions Employees, the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Polytechnics, directing members to withdraw their services at midnight. According to the organized labor, the strike is as a result of the physical assault of the national president of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, in Imo State 2 weeks ago. This development is despite the National Industrial Court's order restraining them from embarking on the strike in the wake of the impasse with the Imo State government. Also in compliance with a strike notice by the organized labor, the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria has blocked the National Assembly gate. TVC News National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa, who is joining me on the news from our Abuja studio. Joke, earlier you sent us a report of the person members who are blocking the National Assembly gate. What led to these, and bring us up to speed with the latest information?
Of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria is as a result of the directive by the NEC of NLC and the TUC for all Nigerian workers to commence an indefinite nationwide strike. And so PASAN is in total compliance with that directive. But away from that, before we got to the National Assembly, we were at the Federal Secretariat, but I can tell you that it was indeed a different ball game. We saw workers coming in and out of the Federal Secretariat. Most of them were not even aware that there was any strike in the first instance. And the few that said they were aware, they described the action as being selfish. Although we also saw a number of workers who agreed completely with the action of the NLC and the TUC. And, you know, it's been a running battle between the Imo State government and the organized labor. And so, but what they have said now is that the physical assault meted on the NLC president will not be accepted, will not be taken to lie low. So they want an apology, and they also want issues that led to the protest where the NLC president was assaulted. They want those issues resolved. So that basically is what we have now. I'm sure that I've spoken with a couple of labor leaders, the union leaders, who were supposed to also be on the field monitoring, but some of them are still not coming out yet. They said by tomorrow they'll be able to effect compliance and also ensure that every activity is grounded to force the government to listen to their cries. And don't also forget that the government has also responded, describing the action of the NLC and the TUC as against national interest, going by the fact that there was an injunction, a court order restraining both congresses from going ahead with this latest strike. So we'll see how it plays out. The strike has commenced. That is what we can say. But by tomorrow, we'll see how more effective this will be.
Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, describing it as unwarranted and an attempt to blackmail the government. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, expressed dismay that the strike proceeded despite a restriction order by the National Industrial Court. In a statement, Mr. Ononuga says the flagrant disobedience to court order and lack of respect for the judiciary should not be what the organized labor should champion. Now, away from the labor's industrial action, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared Governor Doye Diri winner of the Bayelsa governorship election held on Saturday. The returning officer for the election, Professor Farouk Kota, declared Governor Diri winner of the exercise, having satisfied the requirements of the law. The People's Democratic Party candidate got a total of 175,196 votes, while the APC Timipre Silva polled 110,108 votes. The Labour Party candidate scored 905 votes to come a distant third.
Silva Timipre Malin of APC has 110,108 votes. Diri Doye of PDP has 175,196 votes. That Diri Doye of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Signed by Farouk Adamokota, the returning officer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State, and Governor-elect Usman Ododo of Kogi State on the victory in the November 11th governorship election. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity Ajuri Ngelale, the President commended the electorate in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa for their participation in the electoral process. Now, President Tinubu said the outcome of the elections reflects the wishes of the people, emphasizing that democracy thrives when voters reward competence, transparency, and good governance. He expressed gratitude to INEC for working assiduously to create a level playing field for all contestants and the nation's security agencies for maintaining law and order during the elections. At the National Assembly, the House Committee of Finance has queried the Nigerian Communications Commission over an unexplained 291 billion naira in its 2022 budget. The Industrial Training Fund was also asked to provide explanations for the 3 billion naira variation in audited accounts and its remittance to the federal account or Federation account last year. A National Assembly correspondent